righty, let's go.
All right, let's do
So,
it.
hi everyone, welcome to the Trouble Show, and I am so delighted. And I'm so sorry I haven't come to visit your amazing studio in Studio City here in LA yet, or in Miami. But welcoming to the show today, Nicole King, who is the founder and the creative director for Cosmo Contour Spa. Welcome, Nicole. It's so great to have you on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Now, look,
Like,
I've just come back from Europe. I've just come back from a big conference in Cologne where there were 120,000 people at this conference called FIBO. And it's essentially a fitness arena where it's a little bit commercial. So there's a lot of consumers there. And then there's also industry, so business to business. But there's a real blend of fitness, beauty, wellness. So everything's coming together now, which is exactly what you're about. So I'm so delighted to have you on the show. Tell us about how you're bringing beauty and fitness together.
wow, those are my loves. Beauty and fitness. Fitness more so I like to take shortcuts. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not this fitness pro, being that I built this brand on fitness. I like getting to the point. And honestly, that's how this whole thing came about. I want to work smarter, not harder. I want to feel like we're maximizing what we can get in a shorter timeline. And the beauty part just makes, again, more of a one stop to try to accommodate more in a shorter time. So we started with a med spa and kind of combined everything under one roof to just make it more feasible.
I love that. So tell us a little bit about that. Some of my audience might not be familiar with
Mhm.
what med spa means, but I know you have a range of services, goods, all of those things, and you really
Mhm.
lean strongly into the infrared as well. So
Mhm.
again, at this conference I was at, there was a lot of spa and sauna, of course, everyone's ice bathing and all the rest of it. Tell us what's special. What are the services that you offer at Cosmo?
So again, when I started, I could have been a regular med spa, which means your Botox, your fillers, your lasers, your laser hair removal. But I felt like that's on every corner. Botox is becoming like Starbucks, it's on every corner. And, I thought, how are we going to also just stand out and bring something more innovative? And then it goes to my first background, which is interior design, and trying to figure how I can make a beautiful space. It goes, here's the beauty part of everything, is a beautiful space that is designed for what I would want in a place, where from the ambiance, from the feeling when I walk in, the lighting, the scent, everything needs to feel a certain way for me. That's how I operate. It's a feeling.
Now, look, you've been featured in New York Times, Vogue, Forbes, Bazaar, Elle. What's the fascination with these fashion-centric magazines? What are they picking up on?
Well, we were the first infrared gym in the country, so that's number one. So when we went from phasing beauty into fitness, it was me becoming the distributor for my product line, which is the infrared capsules, their pods, and that infrared is getting into your lymphatic system, about 2 inches into your lymphatic system through your clothes. It's a thermal approach, so we're able to do 3 times more the calorie burn and 5 times the benefits of a regular treadmill or a bike or a stairmaster. So these are more than just lights. Some people might get that, well twisted in the sense of, it's not just a light. It's really, really getting into your lymphatic system and achieving more benefits of your knees, your joints, the healing, the muscle recovery, the detox, the inflammation that we carry. I call it the add-on to any workout. So we're not trying to compete with regular gyms, the iron, the Pilates, the yoga. That's all great. This should be your in addition to. So some people will literally go to Pilates and then come to us right after from down the street, or they'll hit our place and then go to F45 or Equinox. That's all great. This is an add-on, or they do that heavy lifting and then the next day they want the recovery. So there's many reasons. And backing up to our first start was also body sculpting, which means we're using FDA approved medical grade devices and using these infrared pieces as accelerators. So the accelerators are reaching levels that you just can't do on your own is really the point. So it's biohacking the regular process.
I love that. And then when I come in and have an experience, is it a solo experience? Am I going through my own experience, or do you have small group training, or do you do coaches? Like, how does that work?
So again, back to my feeling, I don't like overcrowded gyms. So it's supposed to be a very exclusive feeling. The most that we would have in our facility at one time is about 10 to 15 people. That's a high. Most of the time we're about 5 to 8 is the average. So people don't feel that crowded feeling. And no, it is not a trainer, a class. It's freestyle because each of the equipments have a 30-minute timer set on them. And we want you to pick your cardio piece for one, and then maybe you might do a stairmaster for 15 minutes, a rower for 10. The body roller in itself, you can spend 30 minutes on just the infrared body roller. Now that body roller, I always have to say this, we weren't the first with it, and you will see other infrared body rollers out there. We are also white labeling who we are manufacturing, who we work with, so that other people don't have to carry our name if they don't want to. So they can reach out to us if they're wanting to buy equipment or start their own facility. We have Cosmo affiliate programs that we're working on. So we really are trying to grow the brand in hopefully many wings of many different type of businesses.
Yeah, that's great. And it's funny you mentioned that. I have seen the rollers popping up in some places, some
Yes.
gyms, for example, some wellness areas and things like that. So, and they seem to have just a natural appeal. People have this magnetism to go and use them. So I think that's really interesting. Hey, I'm going to hit you with your first question because we like to sort of delve into a little bit of your past. If you could, you've obviously had a wonderful life, you've a very creative life through interior design, obviously in the fitness, wellness, beauty space. If you could give yourself one piece of advice as 10-year-old you, looking back, what would it be?
10-year-old me.
Yeah.
I can hear my mom's voice now. Patience. Patience. Well, little by little, just inch by inch, life's a cinch. Just kind of slow down, enjoy the journey, patience, and yeah, I think that's it.
Do you think that has that view and become more poignant, do you think, post-COVID, or do you think that that advice would be what you would have given yourself 3 or 4 years ago?
Well, as we get older too, I think that we learn that a lot of stuff is not even in our control anyways. So
Right.
when you talk about the pandemic, I learned that for sure more and more as I'm getting older, that when I think I'm rushing or racing and I'm in this like race, it's not in my control anyways. So I need to just relax a little and enjoy the journey. So that's what you can tell the 10-year-old kids for sure, if they'll even get a 10. That's
If you can get them off their phones.
yeah, hard age.
Yeah, look, thank you so much for that. Now, you've mentioned your brand. So you've built a brand, you've obviously got brick and mortar. I know your daughter's involved. I think she's running Miami for you and operationally running the brand for you. What other views have you got? I know that you have an affiliate program. You've obviously got products that you're getting out there. What's your vision? What are you doing in 5 years, ideally?
Well, the goal is to open 2 more this year. And then if we're talking to the younger me, I'm going to say 3 to 5 in a year. But then trying to be maybe it's not so hard on myself, we'll say, to like have to rush or achieve something too quickly. The goal is to build more, and if it's not Cosmo and ourselves, that we can just share our equipment with other avenues, so that I believe in what we're doing. So I think that's the big point to this, is that I love to see that we can help women achieve body goals and health. And this is really an inside out approach. I don't believe you know, a lot of people, they go to the gym and they just keep plateauing, or they're like, I work out 5 days a week, I eat right, I do everything. But why can't I achieve this? Well, we also have a nutritionist, we have a, you know, medical director that we're really working on these next divisions. Now that I'm in premenopause, like, boy, do I have so much to tell women, like all across the board. But I feel like the millennials, which we have a lot of them, they're kind of invincible right now, where they're at their peaks and they feel like they don't need anything except just work out and have fun, right? That's great. But when you hit, you know, after children or premenopause, this is how the business has evolved, because first we were body sculpting, and then I'd say, okay, after this, go work out. I need you to go hit the gym so that you can release the fat cells, you know, drink a lot of water, and let's go. And then it was, oh, you need the sauna because I want you to really sweat to the next level. And then we got that. And then it was waist trainers. Okay, I believe in waist training because when we're trying to do the damage and repair process of our name Contour, it's the 360 of the waistline. And that's how our number one area that women either come in for or that we work on is the waistline, is number one. Number two is cellulite. So we call it the banana roll for underneath. So why, going back to the waist training, is I believe through that process, I can achieve a better result of binding back, gluing back to the muscle during this damage and repair process, and keeping the sweat going throughout the day, the week, because we want to keep releasing what we're working on with the body sculpting machines. So the body sculpting machines, they're meant for fat reduction, skin tightening, cellulite, shaping, contouring, all that good stuff. So now we have to master the hormones, and that's the next launch, is that we will be able to get your blood work done and really find that hormonal balance that half the time you don't even realize. What you might be thinking, you're just crazy, or you're fatigued, or you're gaining weight because, who knows, stress or whatever. But it's a lot of it is hormones. So we're really trying to tap into all of the elements that we need to balance the inside out.
Yeah, that's right. And it suddenly became a topic, hasn't it? You know, I hear about this a lot going around the world. It was the top of topics over in Europe as well. As there hasn't been much research in the women's space, you know, really before 1984, something like this. So the research is coming through now. There are a lot of women on the planet, either in perimenopause or post-menopause. It affects everyone on the planet because you're either a woman, a little over half the world's population, or, you know, a woman, your mother, your sister, your girlfriend, whatever. So it's affecting us all. And, you know, it is really interesting. And, you know, some of the struggles that it sounds like you've become acquainted with, you know, we've got women walking out of executive jobs, walking out of marriages, walking, you know, just really having a moment because they just lose their shit. Basically, their head, their body goes, you don't know yourself anymore. The old routines don't work anymore. The food doesn't work anymore. Your taste buds aren't the same. There's just so many things going on. And it's that hormonal cascade. And it's interesting, there was a great health webinar, listened to it a week ago, a couple of weeks ago. Ollie Patrick, just one of the great researchers and advocates in that wellness space. And pretty much after 35, you start losing your lean muscle mass, as well as all your hormones start changing. So gradually you lose that ability to have children. The chemistry in your body changes. So I think, you know, the work that you're doing in that space is very now. Are there any other products? What are the big trends? I mean, I'm sure you look around the world. I don't know where you look for your beauty trends. I don't know. Is it Paris? I don't know. Is it, I don't know. What's coming that perhaps we haven't heard of at the moment?
Well, our equipment is also first generation. So I feel like already it's kind of like the Apple, or the Apple showroom will say, where, you know, you try our things now, but they don't see what's coming next and next year, or the models after. So that's why I hope that we can be it's kind of like a Peloton showroom, in a sense of like,
Right.
you come try it, And then if you want to buy it, fine, that's one option. Now I understand it's not for everyone to buy, it's a very small percentage, but what's next is a lot of AI is coming aboard with body sculpting already, just bettering the quality, the screens, the whole technology aspect of everything. That's the exciting part, I think, with body sculpting, is that every 2 years they're kind of like cars, you know, that we trade them in a sense. So I don't like to talk a lot about what brands we're using with our machines, because we have about 6 to 7 body sculpting machines. And when people say, well, they go on and they study it, and I'm like, don't worry about that, because maybe by the middle of it we could already be upgrading the next one. And I just want people to trust us for their program. So we do 4-week, 7-week, 10-week programs, and then there's also just the gym or sauna, you know, drop-ins from $35 for an hour, to bundle packages, to these weight loss journeys, body. So there's so much. But to answer you back to your question, is just what can you expect in beauty? I mean, I just stay trying to study ahead always. And Europe was the first, and they actually, our manufacturer, one of them that we're working with is out of France. So you mentioned Paris, and I think that the French are brilliant. I'm Italian, so I'll say us for design.
Always.
I'm going to say design and creative minds, we'll say. But the Germans are great for their, you know, their build outs and engineering, and the French are great for beauty. You know, Europe all has so many treasures of where a lot of our machines are actually also produced in Israel, which is pretty cool.
They have a lot of technology there, don't they? A lot of technology.
Exactly. So Europe's been doing this for 10 years. We started doing it in 2019, and now Europe went huge. Like over the last 3.5 to 5 years, they must have opened 50 locations. Why? Because when we do something in Los Angeles, the whole world looks. Hollywood is definitely about
trendsetting. Yeah, the influencers.
Yeah, we're in the beauty lion's den, we'll say, but then we're also tapped into celebrities and models, and some do post and some don't, but the ones that do have huge influence and audiences, or who they tell, and it spreads. We've gone viral 3 times on other people's you know, channels or platforms, which helped a lot. We were on Selling Sunset, which is a national program, which helped with, you know, news, magazines, like you said. Those things are what LA really started. Now Miami, they're more body friendly, meaning because they're showing their bodies a lot more than we are. And
well, let's face it, Miami's really South America, so it's no great surprise. You know, they're running around bikinis.
beautiful bodies. Beautiful, oh my God, and skin and everything. So they really help Cosmo, you know, look good too. Cosmo looks good on them.
That's great. Hey, here's my second question for you. You're obviously a very creative mind. Who is the biggest troublemaker in your life?
Probably myself. Like, I mean, myself. I would say that I'm probably the hardest on myself. I'm an overachiever. I try to be, you know, I have a rebellious side. When everybody tells me no, that's what I like about your brand. It is so on point that until I saw you really branding it like that, made me think, oh my God, all the times that everybody said I was crazy, or I was the black sheep, or I was the underdog, and all this. Maybe that's a good thing.
Well, look, I maintain that it is. I believe that we should all be leaning a little bit into our inner trouble, because I believe that's That's our uniqueness. And it was interesting because when I first met my business manager, I vomited my life story all over her, and she went, trouble. And I went, I can't use that as a brand. And she said, you've been in trouble your entire life. Like, you've been trying to color outside the lines, get out of the rules, break rules
Yes.
your entire life, and it doesn't need to be a bad thing. So if we can give you feel like you've got creative license, and I love about you when people say no, you go, screw you, I'm going to show you, and
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to do it twice. I'm going to take photos, right? So like,
Yeah.
I mean,
So,
that's what it's all about. Yeah. So
yeah.
tell us a little bit about your naughtiness. So you mentioned that you're Italian. How does that play into, because I affiliate Italian. I'm actually part Maori and, part Pākehā, but every time I'm in Italy, I feel home. So tell me, how does it play out in you?
Yeah, it used to be the temper or probably I would say when I was younger, it would be a little more that I've calmed down a lot because like I say, I think you start to learn how to pick your battles. But you can take that where yeah, my dad who's 100% Sicilian, he used to tell me I would rather pay $50,000 and start a business and go learn at the library or go hang around with some successful people than for me to put the money into a school. Now that was the old school way, and that was the also the American dream was to start your own business. And education for sure, if you're going to be a lawyer, a doctor, or architect, or all these things, you have to. But now my son didn't go to he went not the traditional college, he went to music, and he's in multimedia. And there's certain things that you might need to tap into, but other things we tap into our inner creative selves. And I guess leading back to the Italian side, I think we're very artistic kind of people, and it's love and family and creativeness. That's number one.
Yeah, I love that, and design and fashion, and I mean, I just love it.
Mhm.
Just the way that Laura, everyone's
My hands.
and the food and yeah, it's some of my best friends are Italian, and I can really see that in you. So here's another question for you: of all the people in the world, living or dead, who would you party with?
I mean, my childhood, and it's weird because okay, Michael Jackson is someone who I looked up to as a child. I used to I used to think I wanted him to be my husband as a 10-year-old. And I know it's weird now, like a kid, I like being in love with him, but I thought he was so cool, and I loved the way he dressed and he danced and all of that. But party, yeah, I don't know about partying. He's a inspiration in a sense.
Absolutely, just one of those very, very unique people. Very few of them on the planet.
Inspiration on the music side, and that's what I mean. Yeah, that's so parting to his music and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Now, look, where do we find you? If people want to learn more about Contour, Cosmo Contour, like where do we find you? What's going on? How can we come visit? Those sorts of things.
Yeah, so Instagram is Cosmo Contour, all one word, and same with TikTok, Cosmo Contour. Our website is also great for a little more reading up the educational parts of who we are, which is cosmocontourspa.com.
Oh, that's great. And look, one of my previous guests had a question for you. So this will be your final question for the show. And that was, if you hadn't done this as your career, and I know that you've also done interior design,
Mhm.
if you had to go back and do something else, what do you think that might have been?
Well, now that I'm in the medical space, I guess doctor. Um, but I don't like school, so I don't know.
No problem.
That's I know, but then if I can rewind and yeah, I guess I would change my mind, right? If I was that other side. I do study and things that I'm interested in, so maybe that would break that barrier. But I tend to be so creative that a doctor and creative is kind of a hard toss up, right?
Yeah, it
So
is. But you've obviously got that side because there's the science that you're studying in behind as well. So now
yeah,
let's take your Italian creativity. What is a question you would like to ask our next guest?
ask the next guest.
Yes. What is a question you'd
Um,
like to ask of
are
them?
they also entrepreneurs? Are
Yes,
the next
yes.
guest?
Everyone's an entrepreneur, yep, in some way.
Everyone's going to be in some way. Okay. They, are you able to go in at full belief? That's the only question I would ever ask an entrepreneur, because if you don't believe it, how am I going to believe in it? I guess.
That's great. I love it. I love that question. Look, I wanted to thank you, Nicole. Congratulations on your recent successes and all the with expansion and also selling products and services.
Thank
And
you.
I will be coming to your facility
Yes,
soon, now that I'm back from
can't
Europe.
wait. Thank you
And
for me and allowing us to be a voice to your audience. Thank you.
absolutely,
We hope to
absolutely.
have you all.
And thank you for leaning into your inner trouble. I really loved hearing about that. Go the Italians.
That's the easy part. Thank you, though. Thanks for
Thank you.
pointing it out and not making me feel bad about it.
Oh no, it's what makes you special, right? So it's
Yeah.
really cool. I'll let you know when I come and visit. I'm just got a
Yes,
week or two, but I
please.
will definitely come and
Just
see you.
tell it's on us. Just come use the facility, invite a friend. You know, if you're ever wanting to host something here as well, I really want to open up to hosts that want to use our facility and, make a health and wellness day. We have where we can allow kind of the freestyle method, and then they use the sauna. We have smoothies. We have little goodie bags. We
Wonderful.
do M Sculpt demos. Just a nice Woman's Day of gathering some people if you ever want.
Wonderful. That sounds great. I'll keep that in mind for sure. Thank you so much. Have a great week and we'll be in touch soon.
Thanks
Thanks,
again.
Nicole. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
I hope you took a trouble tip from this episode. If so, ring the bell, like it, follow it, and share it. But most importantly, put the lessons into action in your life, in what you do. Remember, you are the beacon of hope. You are somebody's hero. So ignite that spark within, fly in the face of normality, put your spin on things, follow the call of the disco ball, and solve new problems. I love you. Now go stir up some trouble.